Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Libra in May 2020. What's going on, Libra? How are you guys doing? I hope that you are doing well. I don't know why I said that in such a weird way. Anyway, Libra, how's everything? How's the month of May treating you? We just started. This is May 4th, I believe. Yeah, May 4th today. So yeah, man, we're just getting into it. But how are you doing? I hope you're well. I hope you and your family and all those that you love and care about are safe still as we're dealing with this pandemic, COVID-19 situation. Restrictions are coming up and people are getting back out into their regularly scheduled programs, so to speak. But please, don't be too hasty, okay? Still practice, precautions here, okay? Because it's still a pandemic, friends. There isn't a vaccine as of this moment, is there? So make sure that you're still maintaining whatever safe practices you can manage to take, because nobody wants to get sick and nobody wants to fall ill to this very deadly, or very deadly? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty deadly. Pretty deadly. So just take care of yourselves, okay, guys? Take care of yourselves and take care of the people that you know and love, all right? Libra, I have shuffled off camera. That is your main spread there. I will shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. Timestamp is in the description box if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you will need if you want to get a personal reading with me. If you have a question before you place an order, feel free to email me at the same email address, and I will answer you as soon as I can. You'll also see the link to my Instagram down there, so if you want to follow me, the name is here, EmpathicFire Tarot. You can see that on screen. If you are interested in seeing me interpret oracle cards, I think I'm soon going to start or trying to devise some type of pick a card situation. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you can drop me a follow over there and I will be glad to do that work for you as well, because I like doing tarot. I like it a lot. All right, anything else? Nope, no general announcements other than the Instagram. Maybe a surprise live soon coming up, and I put emphasis on surprise. It probably would be a surprise to me if I did it. So maybe be on the lookout for that if you're subscribed. Make sure your notifications are turned on, okay? All right, Libra, let's get into it. I want to see Libra's outcome for May 2020. Libra's outcome for May 2020, please show me. Okay, everything came face up. Note that, Libra, everything in your reading came face up today. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy, and that is your outcome. All right, let's see what's going on. Please show me where Libra is in May 2020. Where is Libra in May 2020? Please show me. Okay, got it. Libra, coming into May 2020, 2020, you come in with the energy of the Queen of Coins. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You could be dealing with an earth sign, but you don't have to be. It is a general, okay? Hi, lady or man. It's a general, so there's no gender either. But I'm really struck by the person kneeling in front of the queen, okay? And I'm really struck by the aspect of service and being on your knee, or at least one knee, not one knee like a proposal. I mean, maybe this has a proposal aspect for you specifically, but that's not it. It's being on your knees in front of a very powerful person, a very domineering person, and doing their bidding. Now, is that you? Are you doing someone's bidding? Is someone doing your bidding? I don't know. But this queen commands loyalty, demands someone does what she commands. Now, I'm only using that pronoun she because it's a queen, okay? Remember, this can be a male, and they don't have to be an earth sign. But I feel the controlling energy coming off of this Queen of Coins. Like, she looks expectant, right? She looks very much like, and what have you brought me? What do the scrolls say? What have you brought me? It's like very much knows what she expects and might be a perfectionist, might be a control freak, uh, maybe rightfully so. You know, when we get to the king and queen status in tarot, it's normally a place that's earned, like you've worked your way up. Normally, not always, but normally, right? So if this is a boss, let's say, I mean, it could be, you know, both the kings and the queens, in my estimation, are the masters of their suit. So this could be someone who's at the top of the food chain in a company, in a family business, in a family dynamic, in a friendship circle, what have you. And I feel that this person leads, but then like gives a lot of like commands, like what do you call that? Delegates. Thank you. This is like a delegating. So like a manager, like a managing type of personality. This person is. They're very anal. Um, by the everything has to be a certain way, so like perfectionist, and everything has its place in the room. Everything is supposed to be in its exact spot, and like this person hates disorder, hates mess, hates physical mess, like in a physical space, okay, but also hates mess in the sense of drama. And these are all good things to have about your personality. However, Libra, I feel that this is being projected outward and expected of other people, which again can be a good thing. But again, look at the figure that's kneeling in front of the queen, in servitude of that queen, in servitude of this person. I mean, maybe this is a dynamic between a house or a homeowner and their cleaner. I mean, is it politically correct to use the term maid? Like, is anyone like actually a maid? Aren't they called like housekeepers or like nannies and shit like that? But whatever, like that type of thing where it's like someone literally employs another person, and if they're not employed, they're kind of just like living there and expected to do everything the queen says. And that might have its reasoning, but I'm like super cautious about how much this queen, male, female, any sign of the zodiac, is expecting people to follow what they say to the letter. In work, that can be very stressful. At home, that can be very stressful. In a friendship circle, in a family dynamic, that can all be super stressful. And it's domineering. This person is very domineering in a way that we don't know much about the person kneeling down in front of her, but I get the sense that that person has been conditioned into serving this queen. They're used to it. They are used to the perfectionism, even if they don't like it, but they're used to it. Okay. So a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a manager, your best friend, or your best friend's girlfriend, whatever. It's somebody who has this expectation of themselves, and that's fine. Like I said, I think it's great to have those expectations of self. I mean, perfectionism is kind of, not my bag, because like that's too much pressure to put on. Yeah, no. But like, wanting a clean space, liking things orderly, being punctual. This person is probably very well put together. Physically, their personality is probably pretty even keeled. Like, I'm not sensing tyranny, because, queens and kings and emperors and empresses, they can rule by tyranny, right? They can rule with an iron fist. I'm not sensing that per se, but I am sensing this like cold, maybe not cold, aloof, brisk, there you go, that's a good word, brisk way of leading. Like, like when I was growing up, and this is like stand-up comedian material really, but when I was growing up, there are certain family members, like if they, like when I would go to my cousin's house and like my aunt or my uncle would give me a certain look, I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. It's like one of those things. It's like when this person looks at you a certain way, you feel judged. You feel their eyes piercing through your soul because they saw you do something you weren't supposed to do, or they see you're behaving, or and it's not up to their standards. There you go. Just high standards. There you go. High standards. Not even high maintenance. This person could be sitting right now in a pair of sweatpants with Dorito stains on them, but it's the standards that they hold. It's really strange. And I feel it's so strange. In that card, the person who's kneeling in front of them could be you, Libra, could be somebody else in the situation. You could be the Queen of Coins. Who knows? The person who's kneeling, I have a strong sympathy for this person. They're dealing with this the best way they know how, especially if this is an employee and employer situation. Like, literally, you're the housekeeper. Not you, but I mean, it's something like that. Or a caretaker, maybe. Whatever it is. So that's a very interesting place to start. Again, the Queen of Coins, the Queen of Pentacles has earned their place there. I don't think that they're I don't think they're acting above their station or above their position, but the way in which they perform, it can leave people quaking in their boots. What is that? Oh, that's my zipper. Sorry. I was like, what is that sound? Anyway, it can leave people quaking in their boots when this person walks into a room. You know, it's like insert any clip from any movie about workplace drama, and this is the boss that everybody like messages, Sandy's coming. And then everybody like puts shit away on their desk and like they act like they're working. Like you gotta like impress this person. Like you don't want this person to see you as being lazy or ineffective because they'll judge you and or hit you with some repercussions, especially if they're your boss, okay? Or your mom or your dad or whoever it is, you know? It's definitely a hierarchy here. The person who's kneeling is definitely in some... I see that I'm... Okay, thank you. I got a message on the computer that said I was possibly having issues. But, especially... What was I saying? Oh, hierarchy, right? Especially in a workplace. It's just like... Yeah, I'm not with that. Because the person kneeling is still a person, right? Regardless of, you know, this person is the manager and that person is like some low-level person who works in the mailroom. Like, respecting another human is the basis of everything. In my opinion, but let's find out what else is going on. So what else is going on? Please show me. Displeasure is what's happening here. I really feel that the Queen is fine. The displeasure and the discomfort. I mean, maybe the Queen is. I'll give it that because, you know, the Queen is, as much as they might be, whoever they are, they might be this very aloof or very cold, kind of callous or brisk type person, high expectations, right? They're still a human being and they still have some semblance of emotions, right? But somebody who possibly could be dealing with the Queen of Coins or just observing her is just like not into it. Nope, not at all. Now, so there's this, okay. I think I did mention the word stress somewhere, I think. So here we have the Nine of Wands. This is the stress in the situation. Now, Libra, I'm not exactly sure where you are. Some of you are that Queen of Coins. Some of you are dealing with the Queen of Coins. Some of you are watching someone else deal with that person. Like, you might be the spouse of the person who goes and cleans someone else's house. Does that make sense? Like you guys might have your own home cleaning service and there's this one client that is just a piece of work and it just like every time your spouse goes over to that house, they dread going over there and dealing with this person. Does that make sense? So you know better than I where you are in the story because I feel Libras are everywhere, you know. But wherever you are, someone, at least one person, but I think it's more than one person, is experiencing some type of stress due to this connection, due to this relationship, whether it be business, personal, family, love, it doesn't matter. But the interconnection of dealing with that Queen of Coins is like agitating. It's, what's that? I don't like that. Stop that. There's like an aching here. Does someone like wring their hands or like crack their knuckles when they deal with this person? That was uncomfortable. So it could be that I don't have this problem, but I obviously know people, some people do in this world, where you become so stressed and you have such high levels of anxiety that it starts to manifest in your body physically, or you pick up physical tics. So like I said, some of you could be cracking your knuckles, rubbing your hands together, pulling or combing your hair constantly. Like, you're being physically affected. And that's the other aspect of the Nine of Wands, or just the wand suit, is that it does come through physical behavior, physical actions, right? So when you go to work, when you get into conference rooms with this person, when you have to have talks about who didn't take out the garbage, why wasn't this cleaned out, how come these sheets aren't folded and placed neatly by and color coded into the linen cabinet, like, it's so stressful to deal with this person. And it could be a difference of personalities. That could simply be it. But I think it's a little bit deeper, because I think with this 9, this is a long-standing relationship, right? So even if it is business, and even if you're employed by this person or vice versa, right? You've been doing this for months or years, right? Working for this person, going to their home, cleaning up after them, or helping them do whatever. Maybe this is like a personal assistant. I don't know that movie. I've never seen it, but isn't that sort of one of the plots of The Devil Wears Prada? Like, isn't she abusive towards her employees, or she's insulting, right? So, and that's the reputation of, what's her name? Meryl Streep in that movie, right? I'm guessing. I've never seen the movie. I think I know the premise. But anyway, so with the Nine of Wands, physically your body is taxed and tired when you deal with this person. Now, okay, duh. I'm so late. I'm so late to my own reading. I'm like, what is this? Because I feel it could be work. Because, Pentacles deals with money, things that we value, the ways that we sustain ourselves and provide stability in our own lives. So money, employment, okay. And then the Wands, physically feeling altered, okay, sure. Physically feeling affected. Thank you. That was the A word I wanted. When you come into proximity with this person. I was just like, is this really happening in the middle of the pandemic? Yeah, some people are still going to work. If you're a frontline worker in a hospital, working at a grocery store, working at a packing facility, whatever. The other aspect is, of course, many of us have been on quarantine for a long time. 9 wands. I can't remember if wands equal weeks. It might. So you might be going into your 9th week of being in close proximity with someone in your family who treats you like this, or in relation to you, makes you feel stressed and on, like, walking on eggshells, like pins and needles, man. This person, whoever they are to you, could be your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your husband, your wife, it doesn't matter. Your children, okay? or your parents in this case, maybe. I don't care who it is. They're a lot to deal with. And I don't know that they are even, I didn't grow up this way, but I've heard stories of parents who have high expectations of their children, or high expectations in general. And like I said before about, like, going to, like, my cousin's house, they lived in a totally different household than where I was raised, right? And my aunt or my uncle would just give me a look and I would be scared shitless. That's what I feel. This isn't a confrontational relationship. It's not on the surface, or it's not overtly, blatantly adversarial, but there is this contention. There is this friction between you and this person, or them and you, or whatever the breakdown is here. It's very unnerving for whoever kneels in front of the queen. Now, it's just one person on that card, but we could be talking about several people. If this is a head of a household, if this is a mother or a father, or whoever is at the top, whoever's, bringing home the bacon and all that kind of stuff, you could have 5 children. All 5 of your children could be feeling this way, or 3 of them, or 2 of them, or whatever. You know what I mean? So there's stress and anxiety here just by proximity. I get the sense of, like, in some cases, like a panic attack. Very, very few, I'll say that. There is, like, a few of you who've had, like, a little panic attack over conversations. Just conversations with this person can stress you out and break you out in hives, or make you hyperventilate, or whatever it is, yeah? That fucking sucks. If I'm honest, because This relationship is very, there's a relying on each other, right? If this is your boss, they cut the checks, they do your yearly review, they assign bonuses, they do all the things that a boss is supposed to do, and you're the worker. That's a reliant relationship, right? Okay? If this is the parent and you're the child, or vice versa, that comes with all the interminglings that we know of, right? So this isn't like an easily escapable, interesting word, escapable. I'm definitely putting that in quotes, escapable, situation. It's just not easily escapable. Uh, mm, okay, okay. In some cases, this would be a marriage or some type of commitment, where maybe there is a domestic situation where you live together, you pay bills together, both of your names are on the deed, or both of your names are on the lease, both of your names are on the car, and whatever intermingling there is, right? It's not easily escapable. They keep saying that. And thank you. I'm like, because it's not about escaping per se. It is also because whoever is the Nine of Wands is to me kind of like a double-edged sword, because it does indicate being stressed and being tired and being overwhelmed and overworked, and not having much gas left in the tank, right? But at the same time, it is this willingness to keep going. It's like this Energizer Bunny thing that says, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. It's like this mustering of your last bit of strength for like a noble cause, or this sense of duty, this sense of obligation and responsibility. Again, very, 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 very common if we're talking employee and employer, parent and child. Those two are like the biggest coming through with this sense of like obligation. Even if I want to leave, I can't, right? That's, and they're like, and the marriage too. And I'm like, okay, so fine. Marriage, parent and child, employee and employer. Those are like the big three coming through. This can be, other family relationships, sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, or whatever it is, right? It can be other types of relationships, friends, but those are the big three that I feel are coming through. Okay, Libra? Let me grab a drink of water. Where else is, where else? What else happens with Libra? Please show me what happens next, or what else is going on. Pardon me. What happens next with Libra? Please show me. Well, okay. All right. Well, there might be, listen, this is just desire. They're like, this is just desire. Got it. Here's the desire of somebody in the situation: to leave it all behind, or to stop sulking, to not feel so poorly, to not feel so poorly and poorly for those of us, for those, my fellow Americans who might not use that phrase often, poorly, aka sick. You feel poorly. Like, I get that when I watch like British television. You feeling poorly, love? Anyway, so to not feel sick, to not feel as if you're not well, or that you're tired all the time, and that you're frustrated all the time, you're sad all the time, you're depressed, whatever it is, right? To get out of the blues, to get out of feeling like, oh, my life, oh, my job, oh, my mom, my dad, just like lamenting everything, right? The desire is to wake up from that, or again, using this word, escape that. I don't know why I have to keep quoting escape. And maybe because this is cups. Cups can talk about fantasies, or what you want on an emotional standpoint that doesn't necessarily have a place or any type of chance to occur in reality. Maybe that's why I'm quoting it. I don't know why, but every time I say that, they want me to quote it. So I'm going to do it. Now, Five of Cups traditionally is seen as a crying over spilled milk, meaning your situation isn't as far gone. It's not as bad as you think it is. Turn around and see, what's still left behind you. Now, that indicates in traditional interpretations of tarot some type of loss. And it's next to the Queen of Coins. Has she lost something? Has the Queen of Coins lost something? Is the Queen... I mean, it's next to the Queen of Coins. So the Queen of Coins might be experiencing this Five of Cup energy as well. But again, our unsuspecting star player of the person kneeling in front of the Queen of Wands, they're in that card too. So they both could feel as badly or as out of sorts as the other person. Do they know that? Do they know that about each other? I don't know. That's a clarifying question. We don't clarify in this type of reading here on YouTube. But whoever's in the Five of Cups, they're kind of like, if I do this or if this happens, then I'll lose everything, or I've lost everything in this sector of my life. I have to kind of, count my blessings and stick with what I have or stick with what I know. So it's like, that's kind of weird. Why am I saying that? Oh, okay. Like, okay, you see how she's looking back at that castle? There's like a knowing of what's in there. I've been there before. Like, literally, okay. I don't mean to make light of this, and I hate to keep harping on it, but like, it's the one thing that I can see clearly. Going back to the housekeeper analogy, right? It's like, in this, especially now, because actually I was talking with one of my friends. She does cleaning services, not like full-on housekeeping, like twice a week or something, or once a week or something, whatever she gets. And I was talking to her, and she was like, oh, I stopped having my house cleaners come over because of the pandemic. And I was just like, oh, really? I was like, they're in like the business of cleaning surfaces and like, making sure things are like good and in good, clean shape. I found it kind of ironic to stop that service at this time, but she did, and that's fine. She, make your own decisions, of course. And in her shoes, I might have decided the same thing. Who knows? But what I'm getting here is like, in that scenario, let's say it was my friend. This would be like her employee at that point. I don't even, it's not even that point, like, because it's a service. It's not like a personal one-on-one thing, but whatever. It's like the person who is assigned to or has a contract to go and serve the members of this castle, this woman here. She's like employed over there. And she wants to not be in service anymore. I don't want to work for you. I don't want to scrub your toilets. I'm tired of cleaning up your kids' toys. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. You're kind of like ridiculously stressful to me. Every time I clean something, you come up behind me and examine my work. Like, you stress me out. Emotionally, it's not fulfilling to do this work. However, look how she's looking at that castle, looking over her shoulder. That's the place I know. It's comfort because there is comfort in the familiar. However, we all should know as grown fucking adults here, that doesn't always equate goodness. To be comfortable with something because it's familiar, right? Doesn't mean that you should continue to do that thing. Now, I'm not out here advising turn your life upside down, flip a table, walk out, throw a match over your shoulder, and tell everybody to suck it. I'm not saying that. But if you are emotionally unsatisfied to some degree, because fives are about change and challenges and conflict, so this is an emotional struggle this person is going through, whoever it is, I'm not saying to abandon ship per se, but I am saying take a look at that. Why would you long for something or be attached to something simply because it's comfortable and it's familiar? You get comfortable and familiar with an old pair of socks, don't you? But when there's holes in the toe area and it's crusted over and it's gross, you should throw those socks out and get new ones, right? Oh, these are my favorite socks. These are my best shoes. Why? There's holes in it. Replace it. Especially if the purpose of a shoe, the purpose of a sock is to provide you with warmth and shelter, or so that you're not walking on the ground, right? You're not walking on the concrete, right? What's the point of a shoe if like you get a bunch of rocks in it? Doesn't make sense. So, but and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying walk away. I'm not saying run away. I'm not saying any of that. Just examine it. Just think about it. Whoever needs to hear that, just think about it. Are there other places you could be employed? Yes. Maybe not at this moment. Maybe you ought to wait until the economy picks back up, okay? Are there other friendships or other people that you can spend your time with who don't stress you out? Maybe you have a really high standards, very anal friend who like always has to have it their way and like they're not very compromising. If you have this friend who makes all the decisions for you or for the group, or, well, let's take a vacation. Let's take a girls trip. Where do we want to go? Let's all go to San Juan. Barbara, I ain't got San Juan money. Well, you should start saving so we can all go to San Juan over the summer. I work a part-time job. I can't afford, and it's just like unrelenting. No knock, no shade on whoever this Queen of Coins is to you, or who you are towards them, but it's just like, look, if it's not emotionally satisfying, why? To me, as the outsider, as the reader, why? Because not only is it not emotionally satisfying, it's stressful. It's physically stressful, emotionally stressful, mentally stressful. And look what's in between. Hello, friend. Hello, death card, which has been coming out consistently, and I only until earlier today I had remembered. I think the moon is in Scorpio right now, or something Scorpio is going on here. So death card, major arcana for Scorpio. That's why it keeps coming up in these readings. But also, friends, as the quarantine wraps itself up, here comes the final exam. For those who are not thinking the way I'm thinking, this has been a big time out for humanity. And when we are reintroduced to the earth, we have some tests that we're going to have to fulfill, or some tests that we're going to have to go through. And one of the biggest tests is change and transformation. That's just my opinion. You don't have to believe me. But so the death card in tarot, and specific to your reading, Libra, talks about transformation, change, evolution in a way, and the prospect of that being an option. Death is inevitable, both as a concept and as literal finality for all of us mortal beings, okay? But specifically to tarot, it's showing up here as a choice. But it is inevitable because all people can only take so much. There we go. It's not that yes. Come on. How can I say that? You have a chance, or whoever is the person, or people, could be more than one person, whoever has this ability or this offer or opportunity to go through a certain transformation, to go about things differently and change their priorities, or change how they behave or show up in a situation, right? That is the offer right now. That is the change that's on the table, right now, okay? If you skip this opportunity, which you can, you don't have to, death will retreat. It'll be like, whoop, and it'll disappear. But then it'll reappear later, because this situation can only last for so long, in my opinion. It just feels like at some point it's going to come back to this energy of stress, this energy of being unfulfilled, this energy of high expectation, and that's going to create another set of circumstances, or excuse me, it's going to create another formula, another factor, or how am I saying this? Another problem. Like they're showing me math problems, and if you don't know me by now, I don't do science and math, but here we go. So let's say the test, remember I told you, like, my opinion is we're all going to be tested very soon, if not already. And maybe right now the test is simple arithmetic. You get a list of 5 questions. What is 3 plus 5? 8. Okay. What's 11 minus 2? 9. Ooh, you're acing this thing. What's 2 plus 2? 4. Oh my God, this is so easy. And you go down, and this change, which might not sound great, and it might not be the thing someone wants to do right now, but it may prove in the long run to be easier to accomplish because it's simple arithmetic than if you wait. If you let this opportunity disappear, whoop, and then you wait several months, maybe a couple more years, who knows? And then death at some point will come back again and, oh, look at me. And you're like, oh, I've been here before, this opportunity to change. And I didn't do it before. I think I'm ready now. Oh, wait. Now the type of test has changed. It's not arithmetic anymore. It's fucking trigonometry. trigonometry. I don't know anything about trigonometry, by the way. Highest level that I got to in high school was like sort of kind of algebra 2. Not even calculus, friends. Not even calculus. Algebra 2. I was very good at geometry, though. Anyway, enough about me. So now it's like this more daunting, more difficult test if this opportunity now is not taken. That's what that feels like. That's not a guarantee, okay? Some of you might, pass this chance up, or this opportunity or this prospect of change might, fall by the wayside. And maybe when it comes around again, maybe it won't be trigonometry. Maybe it'll be algebra. Maybe it'll be geometry. Maybe it'll be a Spanish test. And you'll be like, hey, I wasn't expecting that, but I'm pretty good. Muy bueno, right? So death in this context feels like a change to the relationship, a change to the dynamic, a change to how you possibly even show up. That's the other thing that I'm sensing here. The Queen of Coins might not even be aware of how they are affecting you, or you're affecting the other people, or whoever the Queen of Coins is, right? They might not even be aware that their presence, their expectations, their words, their behavior, their critiques are so biting and so harsh and so leaves a person feeling so dejected, right? They might not know the impact of what they do. So the change doesn't have to be walk away. The change doesn't have to be you tell this person screw your job and screw you and you can shove it all up in your, where and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be so dramatic and so final. It can be compromise. And I told you, I feel there's friction here, but I don't think it's overt. I feel that there's tension here, but I don't think it's like involving yelling and shouting and everything. The Queen of Coins feels kind of docile. Like not, again, I go back to like my childhood where just being around certain adults, some adults when I was a kid, they yelled and they screamed and they shouted to get their point across. I understand that. Others spoke very calmly. Others pulled you to a quiet corner. Now listen to me, Jay. Here's what's going to happen, and gave you a talking to. I feel that this person is that pull you aside or calm voice type person. They might rant and rave in your specific situation, fine. But in the context of this whole thing over here, these 4 cards we talked about so far, Libra, quiet. Queen of Coins is sitting on the throne, feeling comfortable in their position. They're not fussed about anything. 9 of Wands person, it's like when you watch a comedy and like somebody has to be quiet in the scene, like maybe they're supposed to be like sneaking out of the house, or they're supposed to be like, trying not to wake someone up, and like they stub their toe and like they mouth like all the crazy oh my God. It's like that. This person who is suffering doesn't say shit that they're suffering. Doesn't say that they're tired. Doesn't say that they're anxious or that they're depressed or anything like that. This is not expressed. There is a lot of quietness in these 4 cards. So maybe the change is to be vocal. Maybe the change is to express, hey, guess what? When you come around and I'm bringing you your morning coffee, I usually break out in hives in my car and I have to sit there for 5 minutes to calm down before I bring it into you in your office. So just a possibility, of course. So what else happens? We've got 2 to go. What else happens, please? Okay. So we, and it could be like I said before, or some of you might change jobs. Some of you might get new people to work for if you're in the housekeeping industry or service industry or something like that. You might take your talents elsewhere, okay? And who might you take them to? King of Wands. Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This person doesn't have to be in a fire sign, and they don't have to be a male. It is general, okay? But here we have someone sitting on their throne as well, looking pretty proud, pretty relaxed, or confident in their positioning. But no one is in service to the king, as a direct comparison to what we saw with the Queen of Coins, right? Both are royal or highest on the court card, so they are both masters of their own suits, but this king, surprisingly, and I'm going to tell you this right now, Libra, this is not usually how I would say the King of Wands is. I feel like the King of Wands is like, I don't need anybody else. Not in a like a egotistical way, but like they do their own work. Like this would be the person who is the CEO of the company, but like they actually show up to like different departments and they come and they like know all their employees' names. Hey Sandra, hey Tiffany, hey Barbara, Barbara, sure Barbara. You know, whoever. They create relationships with other people. They like to be ingratiated or a part of the mix. Like this again is not what I would normally say about this King of Wands. I think this person, if they were a leader, they would lead by example. They don't really delegate. They like to get their hands dirty themselves. They're gracious, they're caring, but they also, got it. They also, similar to the Queen, command respect. Like this person is not a slouch. They're not a soft touch either, but they're also not like a raving or they're not like, what is this? What is it? Tight. Thank you. They're not tight. They're not like bent up and like so pristine that they can't, you know, like, okay, another thing that they're showing me is like, you know, like some employees like or workplaces, they have like employee appreciation days or like little fun fairs that your company might put on. This is the boss literally going and sitting on the dunk tank for 4 hours, letting his or her employee throw baseballs or whatever to dunk him in a tank. This is the employee that takes a pie to the face, like a little whipped cream pie to the face for charity. Like this person is not above having fun and getting involved with the people that work for them. If this is work, right? If this is a family dynamic, this is like the fun uncle or the fun aunt, or this is your other parent, right? One of the parents might be like a huge stickler for the rules, and this is like this is the parent who's like, come to the garage at 8 o'clock, and they like, you guys just sit there and you know, and you have this bond because I hope you see what I mean. Like there's one side in the family dynamics situation where you have one person who's just like so type A, stringent, very tightly wound, and all these expectations, and just like such a pain in the ass to deal with. And you have this other relative who's just like, don't let it bother you. It's okay. Or come hang out with me for a while and we'll just shoot the shit and we'll hang out and it'll be fine. You'll relax, right? So this person, in comparison specifically to the Queen of Coins, is a cakewalk. Comparatively. Doesn't mean they don't have bad days. Doesn't mean they're not an asshole or, you know, they tell awful jokes or something. There's probably something terrible about them. But in comparison to what's going on with the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands is just like, I'm cool. You know? Yeah. They're very laid back. I mean, look at how he's sitting there. Laid back. He's got his foot kicked up. His elbow just like, that is like, even if he looks a little douchey, I gotta admit it looks a little douchey, but it's ultimately more relaxed and confident, or self-reliant, let's say, self-reliant, than the Queen. Queen is looking down on this guy, or down on whoever's in front of her. Still sitting on the throne, but it's just a different energy. I hope you're able to catch what it feels like. I'm trying to translate it as best as I can. So, this person, possible new employer, possible new business partner, possible new dance partner, so to speak. Okay, that is there, but I don't know. I don't know about that. It's a possibility, but if so, the King of Wands is like, I'm not even looking over there, because that's the other thing that's going on over here. For some of you, employee, dance partner, friendship circle, whatever. This King of Wands, in relation to all 4 cards, over here, which was the silent mess we were talking about, is not even really paying it much mind. I mean, we can kind of see we can kind of maybe assume he's looking in that mirror. So this King of Wands right now is self-involved. So if this is a new boss, they're not going to chase you down and say, hey, I would love you to work for me. Come on. They're not going to make that initial contact. You have to do it. Or whoever is over here who might want to think about changing up things, okay? You have to initiate this contact with this person. They're not going to do anything. They're very contented where they are. They are turned away from all of that, okay? And there it is. The small offer. Hello. Page of Coins. Earth sign energy again. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Small offer with the Page of Coins. Small. And slow. Slow. Okay? Coins, aka Pentacles, are super slow. It grows over time. You know, it is a sound investment. It is a very practical and methodical energy. It does get the job done, but it gets done fairly slowly. So if you are, or whoever is hearing this message, or is that person who's all that, okay? If you are looking to make changes, you can do so. Plant the seeds now. Start the work now. Is it going to happen tomorrow? Nope. Are you going to quit your job tomorrow? Nope. Page of Coins would never do that. Page of Coins would never, quit their job on the spot. They're going to be like, okay, I really want to leave here. Let me get my resume together. After, having a panic attack today at work, I think I decided I want a new job. So let me dust off my resume. Let me get some cover letters together. I've been working here for 6 years, so now I got to go out and buy new, attire so I can interview. Like, this is a long process. This person, like a squirrel hiding like their nuts away. Maybe, and it's pentacles, right? Or it's coins. So this could be about money. If this is a roommate situation, or you live with family, parents, brothers or sisters or cousins, and you just can't take it, right? Their rules, their expectations are driving you mad. You got to live on your own. You can't walk away today, but in time, as you squirrel away some money to save up for a deposit, to save up for, being able to afford a mortgage on your own, whatever. It's a slow process to get to that point. If you are making contact with the King of Wands could be a realtor or somebody who privately rents out apartments, a very fair landlord maybe, or, an easy to get along with landlord, something like that. If you do reach out, it's going to be small. It's going to be a very small offer, or unsuspecting. Let's say it that way. Unsuspecting. Yeah. Anything else with the page? Okay. Well, that would complicate it, and that would be a totally different story. But this could be a child somehow involved in the mix. It was either for the mid-Aprils I think it was the mid-Aprils. Children were coming up a lot, so if that fits into your story, go ahead and apply it. Because, again, we have an off-suited pair, a king and a queen, which can indicate some type of mother, father, or, two adults who are together. Doesn't have to be male or female, right? And the page can talk to being a child of that union, but it doesn't have to be. Outcome, Libra, the Nine of Wands. Well, where I was talking about the dance card and the partnership just now, someone may be heading towards a single stature or a single status, okay? And again, if it is, it's happening slowly. These are coins. Slow. Develops over time. If it's not that, because I don't really see breakup. I see the possibility. I see frustration and sadness, stress and anxiety, depression and being overwhelmed, and the potential to change with the death card, like I said. The potential to end a situation, because death also talks about endings. And in my estimation, once something ends, something else immediately begins, whether you know it or not, okay? So there is that possibility here. If it goes that route of an ending, badow, somebody gets on the track to being their own person. Now, doesn't mean it doesn't have to be specifically a romantic relationship. This could be you striking out on your own and creating your own business. This could be you spending a couple of months on the unemployment line or collecting unemployment. And not to say that that's an ideal thing, but like this is a time when you get into the Nine of Coins where you kind of prioritize yourself, or you focus on yourself and you focus on your own abundance and what you can provide to a situation, what you want to do with your life, what are the dreams that you have for yourself, and how are you going to manifest them, how are you going to make them come true. This is a very self-sustained energy. It's almost like a boss energy. So again, some of you could be leaving the employ of someone else and becoming your own boss. Is that what happens in Devil Wears Prada? That happens in several movies where the person who was the underling, the person who was the employee, all of a sudden they turn around and they become the boss. So that like is a total a total trope from movies and stuff. So that's what I feel here. Eventually someone here, not all, just someone or a few of you, will eventually get to this status of taking care of yourself, putting yourself at the top of the list, and that being an okay way to be. Because the thing about the Nine of Coins is not only does this energy provide for the self, it provides for others. So long as it's not taxing on the self, so long as it doesn't drain the self of your own primary resources, right? So it's it's just not going to sacrifice too much for others. It will, so long as there's still enough left over for the individual, okay? The overall energy is the Ace of Cups. So I think this is a good omen for omen? Sure. I was like, why am I saying omen? It's a good omen for, but then I also think it speaks to what we've kind of been talking about, but we've kind of talked circles around it. This is about self-care and self-love and being dedicated to treating yourself kindly, even when you feel others don't necessarily treat you the best or respect you or recognize the ways in which you might be struggling or in some type of emotional upheaval, right? In some cases, it's not the strongest message. I'm going to be honest. For those who like to come to tarot and hear about love connections, this is not the strongest message, but it is here. There is a possibility that one relationship where one partner possibly dominates the other, and that dominated partner or that partner that doesn't feel respected feels eclipsed, feels left out, feels stressed and anxious all the time, and doesn't know how to make their situation better. They eventually might make their situation better and make an exit. Like I said before, escape. In quotations, escape. Okay? Once that happens, there is a love offer on the table. Boom, again, okay? That this person either gives to someone else or that they receive. And this could have been the motivation the whole time. I don't know your situation, Libra. I don't know what's going on. But for those where this is a love relationship that's been going on for a while, because I feel that with the Queen of Coins being the starting energy, we've been here for a minute with that energy. So this isn't some, 4-month relationship. We're talking about years, right? When it's that deep, it's not something that you just pull the plug on overnight. It's really not. And the whole time the motivation could have been the love has been lost out of that relationship. Possibly. Okay? Libra, I've talked forever, but that's nothing new. Anyway, that's your reading for May. If you liked it, let me know in the comments below. That would be really cool. Leave a like if you so desire. You can share the video, let other people know that you like my stuff. And if you haven't subscribed, friends, please consider subscribing. I will be back soon, Libra, with the mid-May messages. Like I said, I might do a surprise live. You would be aware of that or notified of that if you are a subscriber. So consider doing that in case I actually surprise you and me and do it. Yeah. So if you want to see any of that stuff, just go ahead and hit that button down below. Again, if you want a reading, it's in the description box. And again, that link for Instagram is also down there. Okay. All right, Libra, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Take care.